Hey guys, and happy new year. As you have seen my previous video, and maybe you see in all of your stores around you, the food shortage is happening, and especially when it's happening at like a whole food category like meat. And if you have pets, it's pet food too, dog and cat food. So it's like, remember what happened to toilet paper? Okay, maybe the meat is next, and maybe something else is next, who knows. But it's gonna be like something next, next, and next until there's gonna be no more, probably. That's what I think. What do you think? So, and once the food is limited and you can't really, you don't have a lot of food, should you start rationing your food? Should you start rationing now? Let's talk about it. Well, one way you would not want to ration your food yet, if there is still some food in the store, the kind of food you eat, not just like some just fruits and vegetables that like you can make a meal out of it. You eat more than that every day. So if the food is still available in the stores and if you have enough money to buy it, and but once the prices go up too high where it's like cost prohibitive to buying it and you don't have any more money after paying all your like bills and utilities, then no. So and when you have stored away some food and you have like no more storage space to put it, then I would not ration the food yet. But even if you have enough food, don't waste any and don't overeat, because overeating is bad for your health and wasting is bad for your future of having enough food. So also, I would not want to ration food if you have kids. Like kids should still have, and any teenagers that are growing should still have their portion until there's like really, really where you have like, I don't know, like a very little food left. Like I have three teenagers that are eating more than adults because they're as tall as adults now, but still growing. So they're actually eating more food than adults. I know that because I'm raising chickens too, and then I see when they're becoming like teenagers, when they're like almost full size, but they're not full size yet, maybe like months away from being full size. They're eating a lot more than adult chickens. So same thing with humans, and I think with any dogs or any other pets you might have. So and so when should you start rationing? Um, when you see in the stores that there's like very very little food, that's like something that was like the meat was looking like at Walmart before. If every aisle looks like that, except for junk food or soda or things you don't buy, those don't count anyways because you're not gonna eat them anyways, right? um yeah, if almost every aisle in your stores look like bare, then yeah, it's time to start rationing your food. um Even if you do have teenagers or kids, just ask them to only eat as much as they, you know as they think is necessary for them. As like, well, a 2-year-old will not be able to make that decision, but you know a 2-year-old maybe needs a smaller portion anyway, like they don't normally do. But like teenagers, just ask them to not overeat. Just like, do not overeat. Eat as much as they need to, but do not overeat. um, so you should also start rationing when the food becomes way too expensive, like whatever it costs now, like at the new year's of 2022. And if it's gonna become like, I don't know, like 3 times more expensive, then for most people they can't be spending like 3 times more on food than they already do. So, and also if you don't have much food stored, like if you look at how much you have, if you can't survive on this food more than certain number of months you want it to last, and you think you're gonna run out before anything gets resolved and get better, then yeah, you should probably start rationing so you'll stretch it for longer. Also, I would add, if you don't have any food in your garden and your backyard, then you should start rationing. Because when you have food in your backyard, like I can start calling off my older chickens, and we also have eggs, and they have grass to eat, and then and I have goats, and even though right now none of them are in milk, but two of them are pregnant, so I'm hoping to start getting some milk. Well, they only go pregnant for 5 months. I don't know exactly how far along they are, but probably the first one is like 2 months away. Shouldn't be more than that. So yeah, if you don't have any food in your backyard that you can grow yourself or produce yourself, then yeah, you might want to start rationing too. But whether or not you rationing your food yet or thinking of it, you should still try to eat first whatever's gonna expire first. Like I sort my food by the due date. Not due date. I mean expiration date. If something expires in uh, year 26, I have a box that says 26 on it, and that's where it goes. And I'm not touching it until I ran out of everything that expires in 25. And like I have some food that expires in 21. We're gonna use that first before we touch anything that expires in like 22. I mean, I do have some expired food that's like only a month or two expired, but it's still good. It's unopened, it's still good. And also, we should prepare our families mentally that okay, the food is limited, do not overeat, only eat like we're eating this and that food first because it expires first. Like, things like you know we're still gonna have enough food. In the worst case, there's lots of grass outside, and we're all gonna be okay. Because also, people can go without food for 30 days. If you're like normally healthy, I don't know about people who have diabetes or other problems, they might not be able to go that long. But um, most um, sort of healthy people can go for 30 days without no future health consequences. Maybe some mental consequences, I don't know, because that's gonna be no, that would not be only hard physically, mentally it's gonna be a lot harder than physically to go without food, I think. um I mean, I personally haven't like gone without food for a long time. I mean, I did some fasting for a couple days here and there, but nothing like long. And when you're fasting, you have food that you can start eating after a certain time when you're done. And but when you have to go without food when you don't have any, I don't know, that that must be harder mentally than physically. Also, you can try to now, if possible, get enough nutrients to stay healthy. Like, try to eat more nutrition food and less junk food. Like, instead of buying chips, buy something that's like some fruits and vegetables. That's one thing. And maybe something that you can cook from scratch that's still going to be a little bit healthier than buying some junk food. And also, even just eating plain cooked potatoes is healthier than eating chips. And if you get far more potatoes, pounds of potatoes, than a bag of chips can provide you for a higher price. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can try to eat simpler and healthier, and also might be even save some money doing that. And also, you need to get into habit of eating simple food, because I'm sure if there's no food around, McDonald's is going to be closed, and any other food places that people uh, depend on. And while you still can, try to stock up on some non-perishable food that's like in cans, that's like in um, grain, like dry foods. So because even having like a canned like can of tuna is gonna, it might get you through like some period of time compared to like having nothing. And you might think like, oh, I'm done, I'm not eating this kind of food, or I don't eat that kind of food. I mean, something that's like normal food that people eat, most people eat, is better than nothing at all, than empty plate. And also when I'm stocking up, I'm stocking, like if I have to spend money on food that and actually, and especially put spend the space on storing it, I'm trying to buy like most calorie dense food that I can possibly can, because like one can of beans, not beans, I mean like of like vegetables like carrots, has only this much calories, and it can maybe last you less. You're gonna need more of those to last you through like a specific amount of time. But if you buy a can of like tuna, especially in oil, and or a can of some meat, um, it takes this about the same amount of space. Well, maybe tuna can less, but it'll give you more calories and will make your body last longer without needing any more food. And some people are buying like canned vegetables and stuff. Canned vegetables, um, which are good to have, but they don't provide. They're not gonna last. They're not gonna make you like last without food as long as like a can of meat same size. Like meat is more dense in calories and will get you through for a longer period of time. That's why I'm buying meat instead of fruits and vegetable can, because if you have like some meat and some rice that you can cook and maybe some beans, you're good. But if all you have is just cans of carrots and peas, um you're gonna go get through them all and still be hungry. So like if you have to spend money on, if you have only a limited amount of spend on food, buy that's what's more calorie dense. And also, if you can possibly grow some food, if even if you live in an apartment, you can still put something in the pot and grow. And depends on your climate. Like here in California, we can grow certain things. Like I'm gonna show you my peas in the pots that's started blooming. So, and like right now, I'm growing a few things in pots because my garden area is occupied by chickens right now, which I would rather have them occupied during the winter time. So this way, next summer, I don't have to weed as much. Then like grow a few things and then spend so much time weeding next year. I'd rather do that. So yeah, so grow some food if you can and stock up while you still can. And if you can only stock up so much, stock up on things that are more calorie dense, like meat and some grains to go with it, and some beans. Okay, I hope this will help you decide whether you should ration your food yet or not. When should you start, or what do you think about it? Please write down in the comments below, and I'm gonna show you my peas right now. Okay, here are the peas that are growing in the pot here, and as you can see, they started blooming. Here's another pot that I have. You see on the top, it got damaged a little bit by that strong wind and rain we had a couple of weeks ago. And this week we actually had some, I mean, not this week, this past night we had some freezing temperature. I think I saw some, like right here. I don't know if you can see that, it's about to bloom. But the other one is blooming already. Right there. Right there.